Good morning, students. Let us start with the story The Gift of Magi by O. Henry. Today it is going to be the last lecture, whereas the story is concerned. Out of his trance, Jim seemed quickly to wake. It seemed that Jim was awakened quickly from the half unconsciousness state. He enfolded his Della. He went near to Della and hugged her. For 10 seconds, let us regard with discreet scrutiny some inconsequential objects in the other side. He says that for 10 seconds, let us put irrelevant things other side. $8 a week or a million a year, what is the difference? He says that whether it is $8 a week earning or if it is million a year, what is the difference in it? When you love each other, when your relationship is good one, it hardly matters. A mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answer. Even an expert or an intelligent person would give a wrong answer. The Magi brought valuable gifts, but that was not among them. Magi, the wise people who brought gift for Jesus Christ, he says that such gift was not there. This dark assertion will be illuminated later on. This disappointing aspect will be removed later on. Jim drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. Jim drew a packet from his pocket and put it on the table. Don't make any mistake, Dell, he said about me. He addressed Della that don't misunderstand me. I don't think there is anything in the way of haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. He says that these are very minor things, whether hair cutting, whether shaving, whether shampoo. These things cannot make my love less for my wife. But if you will unwrap the package, you may see why you had me going a while at first. He said that if you will open this packet, you will see why I was so peculiar previously in the beginning. White fingers and nimble tore at the string and the paper. With white fingers, with trembling hands, Della removed the tag, removed the paper of that packet. And then an ecstatic scream of joy, and then, alas, a quick feminine changed to hysterical tears and walks. As she opened that packet, she cried with joy, excessive joy. Then suddenly, the expression changed. She started weeping, necessitating the immediate employment of all the comforting powers of the Lord of the flat. And it became necessary at that time that the Lord of the flat, Jim, he applied all the things just in order to pacify Della. For there lay the combs, the set of combs side and back that Della had worshipped for long in a Broadway window. Because in that packet there was a set of combs, beautiful combs Della desired since long time. Beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell with jeweled ring. They were beautiful. They were made up of tortoise shell, and the rims of combs, they were decorated with jewels. Just the shade to wear in the beautiful vanished hair, just appropriate to be used by Della in her beautiful hair, which are vanished now. They were expensive combs, she knew, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least of possession. They were quite costly combs, and she was quite aware of that. She had a desire in her heart to have these combs, but she was not having any hope that in life, in future, she may be able to purchase these combs. And now they were hers, but the dresses that should have adorned the coveted adornment were gone. Now, he says that, but now these combs belonged to her. But unfortunately, the hairs where they were to be used, they were gone. But she hugged them to her bosom, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and smile and say, "My hair grows so fast." She hugged combs to her bosom, and at length she was able to look up, and finally she was able to look at the face of Jim with dim eyes. There was a smile on her face, and she says, "My hair grows so fast." And then Della leaped up like a little singed cat and cried, "Oh!" Then she jumped like a singed cat and cried as if she had forgotten something. Jim had not yet seen his beautiful present. Jim has not seen what I have purchased for him as a present. The dull, precious metal seemed to flash with a reflection of her bright and ardent spirit. She shows that fob chain. It was dull, it was substantial, but it started shining with the spiritual qualities of Della. Isn't it a dandy, Jim? Isn't it an exception in itself? I hunted all over town to find it. I kept on going store to store all over the town just in order to find this gift. You will have to look at the time 100 times a day now. After using this chain, you will be able to look at your watch even for 100 times in a day. Give me your watch, I want to see how it looks on it. She says that, give me your watch, I would like to see how it looks with the watch. Instead of obeying, Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. Instead of obeying the order of Della, he sat down in the chair, he put his hands behind the head and started smiling. Della, said he, let us put our Christmas presents away and keep them a while. He says that, okay, let us put our presents, our gifts aside for some time. They are too nice to use just at present. They are so nice, they are very nice, that they cannot be used at present. I sold the watch and get the money to buy your combs. He says that I had to sell the watch just in order to get money because I also wanted to purchase combs for you. And now suppose you put the chops on. and now I think that you should serve the chops. The Magi, as you know, were wise men, wonderfully wise men, who brought gifts to the babe in manger. Writer says that Magi, you all know, they were wise men, wonderfully wise men, and they brought gift for Jesus Christ. They invented the art of giving Christmas present. The art of giving present on the occasion of Christmas was invented by these Magi. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise ones. They were wise people, and the gifts they purchased, they were also wise ones, possibly bearing the privilege of exchange in case of duplication, possibly having an advantage of exchange than the duplication. And here I have lamely related to you the uneventful chronicle of two foolish children in a flat who most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures of their houses. The writer says that here in this story, in this chapter, I have simply narrated the uneventful story of two children, foolish children, who unwisely sacrificed the most valuable treasures of their houses for each other. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said. He says that my last words to the wise people of this age, I would like to say that of all who give gifts, these two were the wisest. All the wise people of the present time who give gifts to one another, I consider that these two who unwisely sacrificed their possessions, they are the wisest one, both Jim and Taylor. Of all who give and receive gifts such as they are wisest. For all who give presents, receive presents on the occasion of Christmas, these two should be considered or are considered the wisest one. Everywhere they are wisest. Everywhere in this universe, they are the wisest person. They are the Magi. Whereas these two candidates are concerned, whereas husband and wife, they are concerned, they are the real Messiahs, they are the real wise people, because without any interest, personal interest, just to show their affection for each other, they sacrificed their valuable possessions for each other. That's all about this story. Thank you.